Hi, I'm Brett Parker, multimedia specialist for Candy Industry Magazine. And today we're focusing on Better Sour, who've recently released Tart Cherry Gummy Stars, a snack inspired by tangy cherries that can be found across West and Central Asia. Here to discuss this is Bella Hughes, co-founder and chief revenue officer at Better Sour. Bella, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Brett, for having me on. And I'm excited to get talking about our newest, most exciting flavor.
Can you tell us about the inspiration behind the formation of Better Sour way back when?
Absolutely. So it's almost a lifelong story. I am lucky enough to be in business and co-founded Better Sour with my lifelong best friend, Samira Niku. We met when we were just a year old, so we don't even remember it. Both of us come from immigrant families, and of all places, our parents settled in Hawaii. And so we just grew up as childhood friends, and our parents are from the Middle East. So, really central for us are flavors from across the Silk Road. And then being born and raised in Hawaii, where you have the amazing tropical tart tangy fruits, a lot of influence from the Asia Pacific. I'd say growing up, these are the flavors that inspired our palates. And we grew up totally obsessed with sour, especially fresh and dried sour fruits. And we never really found a candy that hit that sour spot for us because a lot of candy is really sweet in the center and just covered in a sour coating. We wanted to create something that first and foremost was celebrating the fruits and flavors that are a little more interesting than traditional flavors you see in candy that we grew up with from our heritage. And then second point was really to create that long sour that's a little bit more culinary. So when you have a Better Sour gummy, what you'll find is that like the sour lasts through the whole bite. And fast forward in 2023, we both were in a position. I'm a repeat CPG founder. Samira is a former attorney to launch Better Sour, the candy company of our dreams, together.
Tell us about Tart Cherry Gummy Stars and why is this particular flavor so important to the brand?
Yeah, well, a little known fact is we actually wanted to launch this flavor in 2023. Samira and I are total foodies. We live to eat, we love flavor. And I think what's unique about Better Sour is that all of our flavors are custom compound flavors made just for us. That's part of our secret sauce. So when we work with a flavor house, we'll send them different fresh dried fruits, fruit juices to really come out with the type of flavor we're aiming to mimic that's really authentic. Again, a word we use a lot of Better Sour is culinary inspired, made with premium ingredients. And we were gung ho to do tart cherry. Tart cherry is a really popular flavor across the Middle East. It makes its way into sweet and savory dishes, and it's something that we love. And that tart cherry found in West and Central Asia, tends to be a little bit more of that tangy. And then, of course, in the US, we love that Montmorency tart cherry from Michigan. All that being said, we couldn't get the flavor right because for us, it takes so much trial and error to really get that true flavor that's different than anything else out there. So we were able to earlier on perfect some of our other flavors, a pomegranate apricot, a guava calamansi lime. We launched with that initially in market. But Tart Cherry was always in the back of our mind. And we revisited it a year after launching the company. And, kind of maybe after many, many tries, I forgot how many, we were able to nail it and get it just right. And we launched this fall exclusively initially in Sprouts. And it's been winning multiple awards and gaining a lot of attention. So we're really pleased. Sometimes the effort is definitely worth it.
What was the biggest challenge in creating this snack?
Yeah, I think again, it's getting that more complex cherry. Many candy companies out there, and just like CPG in general, they'll use off the shelf flavors. So there's sort of just more of a flat flavor or an expectation of what something's going to taste like. Going back to what I shared earlier, that all of our flavors are custom and compound, there's a lot of research, a lot of back and forth. I mean, we sent like the flavor house, cherries from the country of Georgia, Michigan, Montmorency, I mean, all over the world to actually nail down and at the end of the day come up with a cherry that compounded all these different tart tangy cherry flavors we loved. So I think it's just bringing a perfectionist attitude to really wanting to celebrate flavors in their truest form, like the tart cherry you'd find if you actually ate a fresh or a dried tart cherry. That's what probably took us and was the most complex given how long it took. But again, that's what makes us special. That when you look at Better Sour, our flavors really are unique, even if we're playing with cherry, which T. Hasagawa just noted is the flavor of 2026, and it's a very popular one. Our take on it always is, and our goal is to bring a different lens and experience.
Have you developed your own principles on what it takes to make an enjoyable gummy product for consumers?
We have. We really launched to do something different. And this kind of candy more for the foodie, the grown-up palate, that everywhere else in their life, they've elevated their palate, their beverages, their snacks. When they go out to eat, they're eating global flavors. They're really into premium ingredients, and more adventurous, interesting experiences. And we wanted to bring that to candy. And some of the anecdotal feedback we got from our customers is that they loved gummies growing up, but they grew up, their flavor palettes are pretty evolved now, and they kind of left gummies behind because what's on the market tends to be a remake of what's already out there if it's on the better for you set, or it's the traditional stuff that's more marketed for kids. So it's been really nice to be able to connect with a lot of millennials and kind of bring them back to candy. Other big principles for us are really ensuring that we're always made with premium ingredients. We're manufactured in the USA. We're a WBNC certified business. All of our colors have always been from fruits and veggies, so nothing artificial. And I think going back to delivering on that long sour experience. So you distinctly enjoy a tart tang throughout rather than traditional sour candy that tends to be super sour on the outside and then really, really sweet on the inside. And then again, I think for Samira and I that we get positive feedback when we're taste testing. There is a lot of R&D and a lot of sampling that goes on before we actually bring a product to market.
Did creating this product teach you anything new about the art of candy creation in general?
Only that I think if we could go back 20 years in time, we would have majored in food science rather than what we studied. Originally, I studied art history. Samira studied international relations for our undergraduate degrees. But we are so grateful to the incredible, flavor houses we work with. We work with a Culinary Institute of America trained chef to help create and formulate our gummies. So, the whole team, that's involved in bringing this vision to life and are very, very particular, bespoke, foodie forward, sour obsessed palates is a dream come true. But I think in retrospect, if we had known in the future what we were going to do, maybe we would have chosen differently because we can move the process along a little bit more streamlined.
I can certainly understand that. Well,
Yeah.
that well, that's all the time that we have for today. Bella Hughes of Better Sour, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
And thank you all for watching.